Humans aren't born out of laying around on their asses. We're the dominant species. We built all this. We're powerful and we're beautiful and we're ready to build the next level of civilization in God's plan. If you love God and you want to build a pro-human future, you must become the victor. But you have to believe in yourself first. This is the truth, and everyone knows it.
So, ladies and gentlemen, there's a lot of questions going around about Mass Effect 5. What can we expect from it? Is there going to be wokeness encroaching on this beloved IP? And the answer to that is absolutely. How much is it going to encroach? Well, time will tell. Is the writing going to be as good as it was? Well, almost certainly not. But, again, it is a waiting game. However, I believe in using our eyes and our ears, using our senses to be able to determine what is more likely to happen. And we have an instance where there's a rumor that we're going to talk about where the current build of Mass Effect has pronouns. Now, you could be saying to yourself, yeah, but Mr. Templar, that is a rumor. That is just speculation. And you are absolutely right. We treat rumors with a grain of salt, a boulder of salt. We do not take them at face value. But usually there's information within a leak that has an element of truth to it. So, in the case of pronouns in the build, we have but to look at the recent Mass Effect board game to determine that they've already included pronouns in the game. So this is from the Mass Effect board game, and apparently this is confirmed. So these cards are legit, they are real, and they have the pronouns of the characters, and Liara is apparently a she/they. So is it likely that we're going to be getting pronouns in Mass Effect 5? Absolutely. I think you would be foolish to completely and totally ignore that. And then you have to talk about the actual substance of this particular rumor. So we're going to go over this article. We're going to talk about it. But first, before we get into it, I just want to once again show my gratitude and appreciation for some of the people that have been super chatting and giving of themselves to support the channel. And I know that some people may look at that and go, oh, okay, all right, you're just farming for more stuff. No, I am under no illusions. My channel is small. My content is on the fly. My content will always be free. I appreciate it more than you could know because I understand the value of $1. I understand how much money this is in many cases. And I understand how important it is to you. Your money is basically your life in many ways. It's how you get food. It's how you pay your bills. It's how you pay your car payments and stuff. I understand how absolutely important it is. And the fact that you would choose to spend your money supporting my channel, whether it's $1, whether it's $10, whatever it is, I just need you to know that it is appreciated every time. So, one of the other things, before we get into the main topic of today's video, is having fun on the community tab. If you don't have any money to give, I totally understand it. I totally respect it. It's fine. There are things that are more important that you have to deal with on a day-to-day. But subscribing to the channel is completely free. And it gives you access to, just some of the best shit posting and memes, that money can't buy, this is what you can look forward to if you subscribe to my channel. Anyway, let's talk about it. A new rumor alleges BioWare's current build for Mass Effect 5 features pronoun selection. This rumor comes from Reddit user Reddit API Blackout 24, who shared it to the Kotaku in Action subreddit. It has since been removed from the subreddit by moderators. Nevertheless, the user shared We got an all hands on deck meeting last week. Devs were asked to delay features, art, and content that may be deemed woke or political and defer them to future patches. Come on, I mean, the grammar here. Come on, I understand it's a Substack, but come on. As QAs is that what it is? As QAs, we were tasked to report if we audit or detect anything that might resemble them so they can be fixed. Why is the grammar so bad here? The company wants to launch the game as clean as possible and introduce woke stuff silently through the patches. He concluded, I fear this might be industry-wide. They wouldn't be issuing this so early otherwise, so tread carefully, that's all. Well, if that's what they choose to do, here's the thing. This will work once, maybe twice, and not for the same company. If they do this, if they launch a game and all of a sudden there are these patches that introduce wokeness and identity politics, first of all, people will pick up on it like that, and the information will spread very, very quickly. But here's what happens. That sort of rug pull scam works one time. If you release Mass Effect 5 and there's no wokeness, none, completely clean of that sort of infection, and then you start adding in woke DLC and woke pronouns and stuff, if you do that, no one is going to buy your next game. You are going to be crippling yourself. And I know that people have a lot of fear about this, but I actually don't. Here's the thing. I don't think this is going to be a problem, because this is going to be a very self-correcting problem. If they get you to put the initial investment in, you pay $70, $80, $90 for Mass Effect 5, and you play it, and then they release a patch and it's got the rainbow flag and there's a transgender character, and it's immediately disgusting, and you know what they're doing. First of all, a lot of people are just going to stop playing the game. A lot of them will demand refunds. It will become a thing. It will become a story. Everyone will be talking about it. But more important, this game doesn't work because you're not allowed to just rebrand yourself and come up with another name. If you do that, it's going to damage the Mass Effect brand, which is far too lucrative for BioWare. In fact, it's their last and only IP that people have any quote-unquote faith in them for. If they do this, it would be a blunder of a biblical scale. That would be it for them. Because you've ruined any chance of you being part of the Knights of the Old Republic remake. Nobody wants you as part of that. Dragon Age the Veilguard was a disaster. How bad? Well, right now it's sitting at $39.99 on Amazon. You can buy the PS5 version. That's right. You can buy this game for $40. The game started at $70. It's 43% off. I mean, do you understand? This game came out right at the beginning of November. The game has been out a month and a half, and it's already $40. So understand what is going to happen if you do this. It will be the single greatest catastrophe in the history of a gaming company. I'm not worried about this becoming a trend of companies, because it is just such an immediate self-correcting thing. You may get sales for that particular game, but you're not going to get money from future DLCs. People will stop playing your game. People will start demanding a refund. You will have another catastrophe on your hands. And then, here's the thing. Gamers can be kind of petty sometimes. All right, let's be honest. You may get lawsuits I'm not saying that they're going to win, but you may get lawsuits for false advertising. That you deliberately and intentionally presented a game this way. And if it ever gets to discovery and it was revealed that you misled the consumers, boy, that opens you up to a whole world of hurt. You released a game with the intention of scamming and defrauding your audience. This is one thing that I'm actually not worried about. Not to mention the fact that already with Veilguard, you have 8,000 people playing right now. Let's refresh. Let's get the latest numbers. All right, so 50 some odd people dropped out. You've got 8,045 people playing right now on Steam. That is, for a Dragon Age game, for a AAA game like this, not even breaking 90,000 peak concurrent people. That is disastrous. So what I would say is that if you want your game to do well, if you want your game to be received well, the smartest thing that you could do would be to take every person at your company that advocated for the inclusion of pronouns and then to fire them. I don't mean fire them like give them a pink slip. I mean, put them into a cannon and fire them into the sun. The damage that you would do to yourself and your reputation by trying to scam people into playing a game and introducing the woke elements later, it would be catastrophic, which is why I don't think that this is happening. I do think that the current build will feature pronouns. Whether they are smart enough to take that out, time will tell. I personally don't think so. Because of what we've seen, I don't think so because of the board game. I think they will include that stuff. I think a lot of the same things from Veilguard will be in Mass Effect 5 because I genuinely think the attitude of a lot of these people is I don't care how much damage it does to the IP. I don't care how much money it loses us. We are going to do this because we're morally right. We are in the correct position, and these gamers are chuds, they're misogynists, they're bigots, they don't believe in inclusion, equity, diversity, all that bullshit. They don't believe in that, and we need to put this into our games because there's a moral imperative to do so. And so, here's the comment. Let me make sure I got this. I hate even talking about this on social media, but if you played Mass Effect, the board game, would you mind giving it a rating on BGG to offset the effing man babies trying to tank the rating with 1 stars because they can't handle looking at pronouns on the character sheet? So, this guy, just already looking at him, he looks insane, but yeah, this is a total and complete disaster. And by the way, pronouns in and of themselves are bad enough because they symbol that your game is, well, let's see, it's hostile territory. It's been taken over by a bunch of mentally ill, deranged freaks, a bunch of cultists, a bunch of communists. So most likely other elements of that particular project are going to be compromised as well, because if you have these sort of disgusting subhuman freaks working on your game, it's ultimately going to manifest in other areas. And usually it's not just a degradation in the quality overall of everything, although that's part of it, but it's noticeable, the decline of things that were once good. Like the dialogue options. How in Mass Effect 2, you could be a total and complete renegade. You could be a complete and total asshole. But you compare that to, Dragon Age, the Veilguard, and you basically had to affirm all of the quote-unquote right things. And honestly, For me personally, I have no faith that Mass Effect 5 is going to do anything different from Dragon Age to Veilguard. Other than maybe in terms of the marketing, they may try something different. I don't think maybe there will be a character like Tosh, but they're going to try something. They're going to do something because they can't help themselves. They cannot help themselves. They cannot just let something be good. They have to meddle. They have to futz with. They have to alter. It's just, it is what they do. And unfortunately, um, yeah, unfortunately, it is what it is, and we're gonna have to react accordingly. So, oh, by the way, I wanted to talk about this. This jacket right here, or this, yeah, somebody was like, "Oh, it's a fencing." Uh, Look, they call it a trench coat. I call it a trench coat. So it was no, that's like a fencing doublet. Okay, look. This is a coat that they're selling. This is a coat that they're selling. That price is, oh, let me scroll down a bit. For $500. 500 500 $500. This is a jacket for Dragon Age. $500. No, they do have a Dragon Age one collection. Dragon Age. Yeah, the Veilguard. It's labeled as a jacket. It's not like a fencing doublet. They actually think that there are going to be people that are spend $500 on this to wear this. So my point here is that, oh my God, that's so embarrassing. I think that they're going to do this, absolutely. But I don't think they're going to be secretive about it. I don't think that's the way that it's going to work, because if they did that, it would be a total and complete kiss of death. And more than just the usual stuff. Like, they promoted their top surgery scars in the game. It was part of the promotional material. They promoted the inclusion of pronouns in Veilguard. I don't think these people are competent enough to learn from their mistakes to realize that they need to be subtle about it. But even if they did learn their lesson, it'll be so immediately obvious, because people are aware of this. They're able to look at this information, and if there is even a whiff of wokeness or identity politics or DEIB injected into Mass Effect 5, people are going to tune out faster than you can possibly imagine. And even if they purchase the game, that game could have a crater's crash. No one's going to buy the DLC. And guess what? This is the flagship for Bioware. This is the only ship they have left. They have to have this do well. There's no choice for them. It's this or unemployment. And as I often say, the waters of unemployment are extremely frigid. So I'm not worried about this. I understand it's a news story. People were asking me, like, hey, what do you think about this? Do you think Bioware's going to go out and do something crazy? No, I don't. I think they're going to have pronouns. I think that the writing is going to be substandard. I think it's going to be more in line with Andromeda, but I think that it's going to be worse. I think it's going to be a worse version of Andromeda, but I don't think it's going to be whatever they're trying to, these people are trying to manufacture it to be in the beginning. It's going to be bad, but it's not going to be like espionage wokeness, if that makes sense. It's going to be very mild, very toned down, but it's still going to be there. And my advice to you, my final passing wisdom, is do not pre-order this game. Do not pre-order this game by any stretch of the imagination. Wait for other people to buy the game, to play the game, to give their feedback. And I'm not talking about games journalists. I'm not talking about the gaming press. Because those people are liars and they're freaks and they're frauds. Wait for normal people to get the game and play and then make a determination whether you think it's worth your money. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that'll do it. Thanks for watching. See you next time.